Yo, welcome to Millennial Magic Up YouTube. Today, we're going to be talking about Dhelmise Rillaboom. This is one of my favorite decks in post rotation. Just like the idea of it feels really good. It's not tier 1, but it's definitely, I think, a tier 2 deck and something that can beat most of the meta. So we're going to talk about some of the cards and the list that we've got, and then we're going to check out a game as well. A game that I recorded specifically, not a Twitch VOD. I'm going to point that out real quick, just in case. But I really like Dhelmise. I think it is such a good card. And the reason is it hits really hard. 3 energies, 240 is, that hits as hard as an Ice Rider does, or a Suicune does, or what are the other big beat stick decks? Any of these big, like, I'm just going to attach the active Leafeon, something like that. You hit hard. You're two-shotting stuff. But the reason I like Dhelmise over these ones is the swinging chain attack. Does 30 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon for each grass energy attached. That includes the bench. Being able to snipe the bench is just so good, and something that I absolutely love, because late game you can build up a really big Dhelmise with 6, 7, 8 energies and snipe these 2 prizers off the bench with relative ease. You also don't apply weakness resistance to the bench, which can be nice against like a Zacian or something like that. You can finish off opposing VMAXs. Shadow Rider likes to run away every time you hit them. So being able to go max anchor into swinging chain to finish it off, which also removes their energies, is actually a pretty effective strategy as well. Here's the deck. We're on the 3-1-3 Rillaboom line. 2 Kricketune. That's actually really important because we run the Peony engine. We also have 3 Research 3 Marnies. Look, a Rare Candy deck, stage 2, it draws really bad sometimes. This helps to mitigate that. So I know it's more supporters than the average deck plays, but that's because you play this 3-1-3 line and the 3 Rare Candies and these 5 Evolution searching cards. So you can definitely draw pretty poorly fairly frequently. But Peony is, it's actually really good. I am always shocked at how good this card is, where you're just like, you get Marnied into a Peony and like 3 other cards, and you're like, this is fine. I can work with it. Discard your hand, search your deck for up to 2 trainer cards, reveal them, put them into your hand. So one of the things you almost always do turn 2, if you have a Peony, is just go get like Rare Candy, Turffield, Rare Candy, Incense, something like that, and get their Rare Candy Rillaboom. That's why I have 2 Crickets. You Peony, get the combo pieces you need, and then you just use Exciting Stage, draw a couple more cards. You can also attack with it. Not like a terrible attacker. If you flip heads, you do KO an Umbreon VMAX. So that's kind of cool. But you probably aren't going to attack with the Kricketune, but the fact you can also makes it a pretty good support Pokemon. And I run a 1-1 Leafeon line. This is one that I think has been a bit different than a lot of other lists. So potentially a bigger line would be better, as in the 1 VMAX is fine. You don't need more than 1 VMAX, but 2 Vs could be good so you don't prize them. But you want to go first, and turn 1, you want to get down to Dhelmise. Ideally, you get a Capture Energy on the Dhelmise to get the Leafeon, or the, what's it called, the Grookey. And then you just use Greening Cells to put a second energy on the Dhelmise, and suddenly you don't even need the Rillaboom. You want the Rillaboom still, because the energy acceleration is freaking good. But if you get a capture or an energy on this, and you can Greening Cells another one to the Dhelmise, you are threatening the turn 2 max anchor, or potentially a turn 2 swinging chain, which might sound weird, but being able to pick off, like, if your opponent only has 1 Sobble on the bench, sometimes swinging chain the Sobble is really good, because if they have no Sobbles anymore, and you probably just win the game from there. So occasionally you'll do that as well. But that's why we play the Leafeon. We play the 1 VMAX, because occasionally have a game where you might start the Leafeon and you want to accelerate to it. The VMAX is actually pretty good. We don't use it for the first attack, though you can in certain situations. It might pop up, like if you're playing against a Leafeon deck, you can hit pretty hard. But Max Leaf is one of the better attacks. 170, heal 30 from this Pokemon. This ended up being incredibly good against Urshifu, actually. Urshifu likes to G-Max Rapid Flow and pick off your Grookeys on the bench. You Max Leaf, if they do hit you for 120, you heal, you only have 90 damage on you, and suddenly they still have to hit you 2 more times. So you're 2-shotting them, and they're 3-shotting you. That 30 heal actually adds up quite a bit, because it prevents the quick shooting from helping to finish you off. So Max Leaf is just a nice little attack. The 30 heal is actually pretty relevant in a variety of situations. Anyone who's played Eggrow, you know that. Calming Hurricane heals 30, and it's kind of like, who cares? But then you have situations where you're like, that 30 heal saves me next turn. To play that, the 2 Incense, 3 Turffields. Sometimes you want to like Peony for an Incense and a Turffield. Sometimes you research and you want 2 Evolutions. So that's why we have that one rod, no energy recycler. I don't think you need energy recycler in this deck. I would play a second rod before it, but I know when I was streaming, people were suggesting it. Sure, I like rod. Rod helps those early game researches too, where you're like, I have to get rid of 2 Rillabooms, which does happen, or maybe you have to get rid of your Crobat early and you want to put it back late game to play around, you know, a late game Marnie into a bad hand or something like that, because you have a lot of clunk and cards that aren't burnable, so Cricket doesn't always save you from an awkward Marnie. 2 switch, a big deal so he can't get boss stalled, and also just mobility is really nice. This thing can't be air ballooned. This thing can't be air ballooned. Well, they can be, but it's not for free retreat. So I like having the 2 switch as options. And then, yeah, 4 capture. Capture is one of the best things about this deck, too. You need your basics down. Everything can attack for, you know, grass and colorless as well. So we like having the capture energy. But we're going to go ahead and check out a game that I just played. It turned out to be against a pre-rotation deck, which you'll hear my surprise of that. But that's life. The ladder's mostly pre-rotation. I like this deck. Let me know what you think about it, and let's go ahead and check out that game. All right, so we're going to get into a game with our Dhelmise Rillaboom deck. We'd like to go first. We also hope our opponent's actually playing post-rotation, but we'll see about that. The ladder is still full of pre-rotation deck. Yep, okay, they get to choose to go first. That is unfortunate for us, but we do get to supporter. It's a pretty solid hand, actually. We have a supporter. We have the capture. We're going to get the Leafeon out, probably. We can accelerate to a secondary poke. Okay, Suicune. There's a good chance this Dhelmise is not going to be long for this world. We have to avoid benching too much. We can hopefully survive. If they play Cape of Toughness, this matchup becomes pretty hard. Like multiple Capes of Toughness. If they don't play Cape of Toughness, we are probably just going to win, actually. The Wash Energy. Sure. Gonna go ahead and drop the capture. Okay, prize the Leafeon. That is really unfortunate. Go ahead and grab the Grookey and hit him with the research. Like to set up. Sure. I think we currently grip the balloon. Now we're going to go ahead and drop balloon active. Cast. Okay, so we do have the turn 2 KO in hand. They cannot KO us. So, okay. We are going to have to attack with the active. But that's fine. Let's see. Oh, the Marnie. All right, so we lose our Peonies. Unfortunately, we have a lot of draw supporters on the bottom of the deck. This might be very bad, very fast. Oh, never mind. This is fine. Got very fine, very fast. So we can go balloon. We're going to go ahead and drop the balloon. Rosal, yep, my opponent's going to start getting set up. So getting a VMAX down would be a very big deal. Oh, there's the cape. So we're going to have to 2-shot. Well, it looks like we're going to be able to trade 2 shots with them, which is nice. Okay, so 120. If we don't fill up our bench, we can actually not get knocked out if we VMAX. We're going to go balloon here. Start with the bat. We're looking for some combination of, there we go. Go here. We can Peony for Incense. Plus, what's it called? Capture. We're going to go ahead and grab a Cricket. You want to avoid benching, but the Cricket's too good in this situation. Go ahead and Peony. Grab Candy Incense. Go ahead and Incense. Grab a Rillaboom. Candy Boomer. Okay, so how hard can my opponent hit me next turn? 4, 5, 9, 10. They can hit me for 200 next turn, but they can get up a quick shooting as well. So I think we're just going to hit with the active, actually. Voltage beat. Because if we VMAX the active, they need 2 more bench Pokemon, but they get a quick shooting, they do knock us out. Versus, yeah, we're going to go ahead and hit with the 2 prizer. We are going to VMAX the bench. Grab the VMAX. Cricket. It was potentially a misplay to grab the Cricket, but you gotta draw cards. Giga Hammer. So we're in an okay spot right now. We'll get the return KO with our 3 prizer. They've got to start to get set up. But we do have to set up another attacker. We prized our Leafeon, unfortunately. Leafeon VMAX being a pretty decent attacker in this matchup for the late game. If you can limit your bench ecom so it is a pre-rotation deck. Cool. I don't know. Maybe the pre-rotation cards aren't going to matter that much. We'll find out. Resolve for Incense. Yep. So they do have access to the quick shooting now if they want it. So yeah, not VMAXing the active was correct. We want them to go through. Okay. Still, forcing a different play is nice. If they go for a boss KO on the Rillaboom, it wouldn't be the worst play in the world for them, but that would just... We KO with it... Yeah, because we would just VMAX the active at that point. If they KO the Rillaboom, we VMAX the active and make them go through 2 3 prizers, even if one of them is damaged. It's just slightly harder. Okay, no, they're going to set up another Suicune. Definitely the correct play for them. We'd like to set up another Dhelmise. Yeah, because I don't think I want to rely on getting the Leafeon off of the prizes. Suicune, there's the Melanie. Some buckets. So I think the one thing we have to watch out for being in pre-rotation deck is Stamp. Normally won't have to, but we have the Cricket. The Cricket is a good target for them as a 2 prizer. For sure. But just something to be aware of. I'm going to go ahead and promote the Dhelmise. Okay. This is not super great, unfortunately. We're going to go ahead and Voltage Beat. 1, 2. Check the deck real quick. We do have the 1/1 line in there. And we're also going to go ahead and Swinging Chain for the knockout instead of the Max Anchor. Trying to think. I think we are going to go ahead and attach, though. Threaten a big Swinging Chain in the late game. Knock out the active. Take 2 prizes. They will not KO it. Well, they can technically go boss game. Leafeon's cool. Cricket's fine. We're going to start to power up the Leafeon as well. Doesn't KO, but it doesn't get KO'd, and that's kind of the big deal there. Let's see, if my opponent doesn't boss here, I'm feeling pretty okay about this. If my opponent doesn't cape, too. Unfortunately, we're not teched for Suicune capes. This deck isn't teched out for anything, really, because there is no meta. But obviously, we can add techs like a Scrapper or a Jammer. Moving forward, if, you know, Suicune with cape toughness is an actual meta deck that we have to worry about. But as of right now, there is no meta. There's no reason to add techs, really. Except, like, you know, Urshifu's a good deck, right? So, like, maybe that one you want to tech for. If you can. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 160. So they do have the boss KO on the Cricket now. And unfortunately, our opponent's going to go boss game, it looks like. And there's nothing we can do about it. Well, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I don't think there's anything we can do about it. Unless we top like a Marnie. If we don't bench any more Pokemon, they can get 5, 6, 7. They can hit for 160 next turn with the quick shooting. Yeah. They currently have a pivot. They can set up a Suicune out of nowhere. There's the reset stamp. That is fine. Okay, we don't get the Marnie, though. That sucks. So we do get the KO. Yeah, they probably just have what they need in hand. Voltage beat. Gonna make this really big. No reason to bench anything else. We're also gonna pull out of the deck a Rillaboom. And of course they have Echoing Horn. Also not super great for us. And Max Anchor. And we currently KO the Crobat on the bench. So if they don't win this turn, which 130, 40, 50, 60, 70, I don't think they can win this turn. I actually think we have this game. Unless I'm missing something. Because they can't KO the active. Unless they play an Escape Rope. But I don't know, could we have played around an Escape Rope actually? I can go Melanie to a Suicune, fill their bench. No, well, a Dhelmise would have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, even a Dhelmise wouldn't have played around an Escape Rope, yeah. So if they have Escape Rope, Melanie attached, they win the game. If they don't have that, we just win the game. There's a boss. A boss isn't a Melon. They could also play another Stamp, yeah. This is the downside of playing against a pre-rotation deck. Now what's cool is we do have the guaranteed energy. I don't know why they didn't boss up the Rillaboom. But sure, it's fine. We just retreat, unless they play like an Absol, I guess. Sobble, yeah. And it looks like we're gonna go ahead and take this one over the whatever this is, the Suicune deck. Right? 6 times 3, 180. Yeah. Go here. Voltage beat to be active. Retreat. Swinging Chain. That's why you build up a big Dhelmise. And we're going to go ahead and take it. All right, let's go. I was not super expecting that one, but that's why I like Dhelmise. The Swinging Chain being able to snipe just feels so good. Because if your opponent gusts around you, you can just build up a really big Dhelmise that can take those knockouts pretty easily. Now, had they had like a Suicune on the bench, it would have been a lot harder because we can't accelerate multiple grass energies because we only had one left in the deck. But they played the Crobat down. You can usually punish that pretty well. And yeah, kind of how the deck works. You get out your Boomer, you get out your big attackers, and you do some stuff. Catch y'all in the next video. Peace out.